Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans.
Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Friday edition of the JP Peterson Show. We are loaded once again with our favorite sports. They're all the sports. All our major sports teams are making news here, so we're going to get to all of them today. Evan Kloski from Tampa Bay 10 will be joining us around 10:30 to spread some of his incredible wisdom over this sometimes wisdomless show. So we need a little injection here at the end of the week. I'll call my man Kloski, and he'll jump on with us. So he'll be heading over to rookie minicamp this morning, which rudely is starting at the end of my show. Kind of upset about that, but we'll deal with it. Good morning to you, IndyCarTim. How are you, my friend?
Man, y'all's rookie minicamp starts late.
Usually they started like on Monday after the draft. I don't know. They gave it a week or so.
Cowboys had theirs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, this is it's kind of about, okay, guys, this is how we do things. This is where the bathroom is. This is where the food is. This is where you get your Gatorade. This is where you line up. This is how we do stretching. You know, basically, it's orientation.
It's an orientation, yeah,
which is interesting. And Ruben Bain showed up in a backwards Sap jersey yesterday, which I thought was interesting. It's just leaning into his University of Miami.
Did you see the story about why he did that?
Not exactly. Why?
Warren Sapp called him like immediately after he was drafted. Yeah, and just gave him the spiel and everything. So he was just kind of sort of paying homage to Sapp on that.
Yeah. Well, listen. Follow his footsteps on the field.
Yeah.
The off the field stuff, not so much. But I'm not worried about Ruben Bain whatsoever.
No.
He's a good man. He's a hard ass worker. He's going to set the tone for this whole group. Really excited about that. Great fortune that he fell to us at 15. Like, just, that's how. Listen, you go back and study championship teams, Timmy, and there's a good bit of luck that goes their way. No question about it. You must have good fortune, but fortune favors the bold. And hopefully, maybe there's some more bold moves for the Buccaneers. I don't think
maybe there's some Bulls moves.
Oh, fortune favors the Bulls is what you're saying. I don't believe that's what who said that. Is that Caesar? Who gets credit for that?
Fortune favors I'm taking credit for fortune favors the Bulls.
Yeah, you get that.
But fortune favors you. That might have been Jesus. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, in so many words, perhaps, yes. But,
right.
I don't think it was Jesus.
I don't know.
But that's funny.
Shakespeare? I don't
know. Jimmy J. Voyager's in with a super chat this morning already. $9.99. Paying for lunch. What's up? Hello, JP. Love the show. I have a letter for you and Big O. Is there an appropriate email I could send it for you? Thank you, and keep up the great work. Yes, we have a very public email. It's jp@thejppetersonshow.com. It's where I tell everybody with complaints to send their emails to the boss, and the boss will handle them quickly and efficiently. But if you're looking to get me fired, it probably won't work out well for you.
Probably won't happen.
The boss is he can be an asshole sometimes, but he is
tough to work for.
Yes, can be. Absolutely. No question. So we're going to get into the Rays, Bucs, a little bit of lightning as well as we go through the day. And anything you guys want to bring up. Fridays is a day for you guys to bring up any topic you want. Ask me anything you want. There's a pretty good chance I'll give it a shot and answer whatever it is you want me to answer. I'll tell you what, Timmy, this the Tampa City Council thing has really blown up. Like,
it has
exploded. The owner, Patrick Zalupski, has reposted some of our speeches, and I don't want to say I'm shocked. I'm shocked. You know why? Because I say that, as you well know, I say all this stuff every day on the show with passion and all that stuff. But, we don't have as big a platform as other folks, obviously. We're growing and we're getting there, certainly. But when other people pick up on it, it's pretty cool. It's really cool. And we appreciate Mr. Zalupski for retweeting that, and Ken Babby and everybody else. And it is funny though that there is now, I don't know how this got started, just trolls on the internet, but he's a shill for the Rays and ownership and sucking up to billionaires and blah 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 blah. How come I didn't do that with Stu?
Exactly.
It's just about sucking up the billionaires and ownership and being a shill. How come I didn't do that? Oh, because the Rays are paying you. Are they? Timmy, how many ads do we run for the Rays?
0.
Check our inventory, right? Check every other station in the market. They're running ads for the Rays are paying everybody but me. So I should be pissed, actually, right? No, we haven't sent a proposal to the Rays. We don't, we talk about them obviously, and the Lightning and the Buccaneers, but we are not paid by them. And we'd like to keep it that way to ensure our integrity here. Now, listen, down the road, if they want to run some promotions because this is such a popular show and it's the best way to reach sports fans, we can have some conversations about that. But I'm not running over to them with the proposal to get paid. We got plenty of great advertisers, probably about as many as we need right here, because any more than we already have is going to get a little bogged down in our commercials. So, we're about where we need to be. We need more content to sell. That's what we need.
Sure.
But we'll get to that as well. And the Big O show is where a lot of that's going to be headed. So don't forget, we got one of those coming up today. Best Rays podcast in the market by far. So yeah, but listen, I know I'm very passionate about this. We put our stuff out on social media. You got to be ready for the detractors. It's just, you would hope that they would keep it to the topic and not make it personal, but some people do. And 9 times out of 10, Timmy, they're bots or they're fake names. They're fake names.
Yeah.
They're cowards. They're cowards. And I think I know who many of them are, because it's absolutely consistent with their character. They're cowards, and they would never say any of that to my face.
Right.
Or even on Twitter. So, but they have to go to bed at night.
People resort to personal attacks, JP, when they run out of ammunition everywhere else. So the fact that you're being personally attacked just shows that you've disputed all of their other arguments, and now that's what they have to resort to. And that's the society we live in social media. So
Rick brings up a good point, though. Here he says, where'd he go? JP is shill for Stu. Well, he wasn't a billionaire yet, but now it's a good point. Stu, give me a call.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Sorry, I ran you out of baseball, but he ran me out of places too. So and tried others. So I think that's fair. He also, Danny Boy says, most of them are from the St. Pete side that want to sink this deal in Tampa. Yeah, for what? Because then they move to Orlando, which is farther away than to St. Pete. What? They're not coming back to St. Pete. That's not happening. All right, let's talk about the Rays on the field. You watch any of the game last night, Timmy?
I did. I had it on TBS last night.
It was on ESPN.
Or I'm sorry, ESPN. TBS.
Yeah, first time they were on ESPN as a standalone game, I guess a national game, since 2021. It's been 5 years.
Do you think that had more to do with the Rays or with the Red Sox?
Well, I think that helps that it's the Red Sox and the Boston big market, obviously. Yeah, because those national games, they're always going to choose Boston, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. They're going to choose the top 3 markets. I get that. It's part of the business. They're always going to get bigger ratings with those bigger markets, so that's why they do it. You would think baseball, in its infinite wisdom, would, in their partnership with ESPN, would say, "Hey, I understand that, but can we give some other teams some run, through the because take a little hit on maybe a national game just to start building up the other teams in the league?" But they don't do that for whatever reason. They cater to a lot of that, but it was great to see. And by the way, have you seen the ratings for baseball across the board are up 44% this year? That's crazy.
So it's following a trend, because did you see NHL playoff ratings?
Yes, I did.
They are up over 70% from last year. So I don't know what it is, but people are digging the sports these days. And I'm here for it, man, especially Major League Baseball.
I kind of want to dive into that topic a little bit, but I need to do a little bit more research.
Yeah.
How much of that do you think is in the past couple of years with all the RSNs, the regional sports networks getting screwed up, that people didn't know where to find the games? And then this year, they've been able to, they put more of it on because it counts when it's on local TV as well.
Sure.
All the ratings counts. Like here in Tampa, I feel like people are finding it easier to find the games because it's more available than it has been. Maybe
that's got to help, right? If you can't find the game, you can't watch it.
Right. So I think that's helped a lot, but also the game, the speed of the game, like a baseball game, it's incomparable to the past. I mean, it's actually going back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s when games were like 2 hours long or less because they didn't have all the grandstanding that you had, when the aughts came up and, it got ridiculous, slowing the pitchers down, slowing the hitters down, everybody taking time out, unlimited, using it to their advantage, obviously. But
batters having to rework their gloves after every pitch, even if they didn't swing the bat, right?
Really? Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous. Let's so I think there's I think baseball is better on TV than it's ever been. I mean, witness last night that Caminero blast.
Man.
Holy shizbang. Ball up in his like upper chest area, and he gets on top of this fastball with that flat swing we were talking about a couple weeks ago. And the Rays, they talked a lot about that last night, the flattest swings in baseball, and they make tons more contact, way less strikeouts. I mean, they're playing the game the way I've always loved the game to be played. Small, and I wouldn't even call it small ball because you got Caminero hitting 449-foot home runs, dead center field like a freaking laser. Thing had like a 19-degree launch angle, which is really flat, and it goes 449 feet, 115 off the bat. Holy crap! That's not small ball. That's not small ball. But obviously, we don't have a lot of guys that are doing that. But last night was a perfect example of Rays baseball, except for the defense. The defense was shoddy last night. It really was. They broke their string of three runs or less, and it's because Taylor Walls made a
run, right?
Yeah, well, a couple of them. Taylor Walls made a horrible mistake trying to get a double play, flipping it out of his glove and flipped it right over the second baseman's head. I mean, that's just very un-Taylor Walls-like. Caminero had a couple of balls. He made some good plays, but he had a couple balls that were hit at him. Hot shots now. I mean, hot shots. But that he didn't come up with that led to some runs that weren't errors. I think there was two of them that he could have gotten to that he did not, and he was pissed at himself. Made a couple other really good plays, though. And then inexcusable outfield blunder, bloop ball in between, kind of into right center between the center fielder, right fielder, and the second baseman. And everybody thought the other person was getting it. Nobody took charge. Nobody called him off. Easily catchable, and it just falls. And Clevenger's was not happy about that. So that led to the fourth run and broke their streak. And then he threw a nasty, nasty sweeper to get out of it with runners, the tying runs on, I think. So, big pitching and big moments. The bullpen has been absolutely nails. Starting pitching, again, fantastic. Griffin Jacks deserved a better fate. He was the opener last night. And as I mentioned, the defense was a little shoddy behind him. I don't think he would have given up. I think one of those first three runs was unearned. That's what the Taylor Walls play was. So, it was. They didn't play their cleanest game, but they still won, 8-4 was the final, I think, last night?
8-4, yep.
Yeah, and Chandler Simpson, every time I see the lineup and I don't see him in it, I get pissed off. But then I have to calm down because I know Cashie's going to bring him in a clutch situation, and he's going to deliver. And he did last night. I mean, he brings him in, sixth inning? It was 6-4, I think, at that point.
Sixth inning tie.
Yeah, it was still, that's right, it's still tied.
Yeah.
Bring him in, and he rips one right back up the middle. Line drive, 2-run score. Gives them the two-run advantage, and they go on and win it from there. And then he triples later on and scores. And then they did a little thing last night, and I didn't even realize this. I knew he was much better defensively this year, but he is the best outfielder in the league in terms of plus runs saved. I mean, are you kidding me? Go from one of the worst to one of the best in one offseason. Holy Kevin Kiermaier. What the hell was that? And KK worked with him this offseason, and damned if he didn't give a little magic rubbing off on Chandler Simpson. And he's going to get better. He's going to get even better. So, so
and how
fun to
about
watch
Chandler
this team play.
Simpson's growth at the plate in his young career, putting him into a position like that and him delivering. Now I know it wasn't ninth inning, 2 outs, and you throw him up there, but it was a tie game in the late innings. and he still delivered. I think that shows a lot of growth for him as a young player at the plate because, last year, who knows if he's put into that position.
I mean, he hit 300 last year, but he's much more confident this year, much more confident at the plate. And I love the way his eye has gotten much better. He's really seeing took a lot of good pitches last night that were just off the strike zone. And he took those pitches, not swinging and flailing at things out of the zone, really staying within himself. The bunting has helped him in his regular hitting because you got to pull in at the corners. It's just everything he does is just puts pressure on the defense. And when he doesn't start, it gives Cash that great luxury to be able to insert him in the key moment of the game, either as a pinch hitter now or as a base stealer in terms of pinch running. I mean, all of that. Now, hell, he's a defensive replacement now as well. So that when he doesn't start, and I think they're in a run now where they're going to face 6 or 7 lefties in a row, and he'll hit against some lefties. But they'll look at the analytics with the actual pitcher and say, is this too tough? And also Valade's playing fantastic ball too, who also played. He made some nice catches out in left field last night as well. So you got an embarrassment of riches. And even Gavin Lux now is ready to come back. I'm like, we don't need you. I mean, how do you take Ben Williamson out of the lineup?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been fantastic. Great problem to have. I just wish we could get there with our pitchers. With Matt's going down and Pepio down, and Boyle's getting ready to come back, so we'll get his arm back in the starting rotation. But another game where Jack starts and they win the game, so it's hard to fault anything they're doing now. And the numbers are just silly at this point. I've seen so many of them on Twitter, and I've retweeted a lot of these things. They are one of 3 teams to go 17 games with 4 runs or less, and the other 2 teams won the World Series. So there's lots of stats like that about their pitching and defense right now. And people will say, well, the American League is down. I don't know that yet. I don't think we have a sample size yet, right? I know there's only 2 teams over 500, but if they're all playing each other and beating each other, we really don't know if they're as a whole bad. We just don't know. We don't have a big enough sample size. So I think what the Rays are doing is real. I watch it every night. I see the pitching. It's not just, it's not guys missing mistakes. These guys have fantastic stuff, and it's hard to hit. And when they do hit it, the defense behind it has been, for the most part, spectacular. So that stuff it rarely slumps. It rarely slumps. And their hitting has been enough. It's not off the charts, but when you're the best pitching team in the league and you're 14th in runs scored, or where they're kind of in the middle of the pack, you're going to win a lot of ball games. And that's exactly what they're doing. And listen, doing it on a big stage like that on ESPN, and I just love the conversation last night from Eddie Perez and David Ross and Rabbi. It was really fun to listen to those guys talk about Rays baseball the way we know it. And now the nation really gets a taste of it. And how do you not root for them? I mean, how do you not, from a national perspective, I bet they gained a lot of fans last night.
Oh, for
a ton
sure.
of fans, And
that's what the national exposure can do for you. You've got millions of baseball fans that don't have a local team to cheer for. They just got to randomly pick a team. And when you get exposure like that and you're winning, especially against, the Sox are one of those teams, you either hate them or you love them, right? Kind of like the Yankees. So, and then you beat the red hot Red Sox, by the way. I know they're going through some stuff. They fire Cora, and now they just swept Detroit coming into this series. Yeah. So, it's just a good look, man. It's a good look for a team that needs good looks right now for sure.
Yeah, and they getting out to a 3-0 lead, but I think they laid down 2 bunts in that stretch.
Yeah.
And Williamson got a great secondary lead. And I just love hearing the guys talk about the fundamentals of baseball and how this group is just doing it different. And it was fun. It was fun to watch them execute it in front of you kind of thought, oh, they're going to get it on the ESPN. They've been playing great baseball. I'm going to throw a stinker out there, right? But instead, defensively, they weren't great. But everything else they did was vintage Rays baseball. And did an interview with Cash during the game, and he talked about how these guys are playing, how excited he is. I did enjoy the conversation about the firing of Alex Cora. And Did you notice, Timmy, there was a lot of hidden meaning there? Like it was like David Ross and Perez and Ravage, they were just struggling, and even Buster Olney struggling. Not there's like there's something really juicy there that they can't say, right?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
With Cora, there's no telling,
right?
But
you think it's cheating? You think he's trying to cheat again?
I mean, there's a history there. So
you know what I think it is? I think it's analytics.
You think he's sleeping with Diana Rossini?
I set you up so good for that. Set you up so good for that.
I mean, in Boston, she apparently loves Boston coaches.
He and Vrabel have a duke it out.
Vrabel would win that one.
With the I'm not going there. Anyway,
analytics.
I think
you said analytics. Yeah.
It got a sense that maybe Alex Cora and his whole staff, which is loaded with real baseball people, were pushing back on the analytics, and the new GM didn't like that. And you think maybe?
Well, you already have the situation of Cora not being the new GM's guy, right? Every time a guy gets hired as a GM, he wants to bring in his guy. There's very rare instances where you're not going to bring in your own guy. And so you already had that dynamic happening. So, so you can look for any excuse. We don't, we're not on the same page with the analytics. I need a guy that's on the same page with what I'm trying to build.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build a game based on build a team based on your interpretation of analytics, and you've got a bench coach a field manager that's not conforming to those or has a different idea, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So
remember Moneyball?
It would make all the sense.
Moneyball. Remember Brad Pitt's character, and then the original manager.
Grady Fuson.
There was there was a lot of bashing of heads. And so Brad Pitt basically had to finally say, you don't get it, old man. You're out. Bring in somebody that's going to do it. I kind of get that sense. If you guys were listening and you have thoughts on that, let me know. But who cares what their problems are?
Let them have their problems. The Rays are rolling right now.
Let them have their problems.
I still like the cheating angle better, though.
I mean, then you would kind of applaud management but I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make any accusations like that.
Because he was kind of a fan favorite too. I mean, he was very popular,
very much so.
Base.
And it wasn't like the start was horrible. What were they? 5 games under?
It's overcomable for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was early in the season, for God's sakes. I mean, it just seemed weird, but whatever. That's their.
Unfortunately, he'll get another job somewhere. It is what it is.
So yeah, love what we saw from the Rays last night, and Chandler Simpson just continues to be a star. I told you I ran into him at the Lightning game the other day, and he said he'd come on the show. So I'm looking forward to that. What a nice young kid, bright smile. I was a little like, although Tampanians are pretty cool about not mobbing. Our star players. We're pretty cool about letting them have their space. Because he was just, and I just saw him at the elevator, and he was just walking around, nobody around him, wasn't with any of his teammates at that point. I don't know what was going on. Probably taking a lap around the stadium just to check it out. Yeah. Probably never been there before, but he was just kind of hanging out there waiting for the elevator. And we're like, damn, that's Chandler Simpson. So I'm going to go up and introduce myself. What a delightful young man.
That's awesome.
I've seen a bunch of his interviews. He's really, really good. And he's, like so many of these guys, they're easy to root for, man. All these guys, even Nick Martinez. He's they all are. They just seem to have such a great disposition, all of them, and they're easy to root for. And that's why we talked a little bit about this yesterday, and I'll say it again. With what's going on with the stadium and the great momentum we have with that, and now this team winning, it's a good time for this team to be winning. It's a really, really good time. Not that should have a full effect on it, because that's a short-term thing, and we're talking about a very, very long-term project here. But it helps. It certainly doesn't hurt.
Detractors, it's a thing, man. If they're losing on the field for the detractors, it's a talking point, and just don't give them that talking point.
I absolutely agree. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side, and Evan Kloski is going to join us from Tampa Bay 10. Love. He's been on Twitter just killing it with so much good stuff. We get his thoughts on the stadium and everything as well. The Bucs coming in. We're going to do some stuff on their rookies coming in as well. So stick with us. Pitch Roofing are the folks that are going to take care of one of the most important parts of your home is your roof, right? And it better be right. You may not know how long your roof has left in terms of the life of the roof. They have about 15 to 20 years, depending on what you put on it the last time here in Florida. So if you're wondering what the roof life is left, they'll tell you. They'll come out, do a free consultation for you, explain everything about how the roofing deal works with your insurance and everything else. And you'll figure it out. And you'll find out that these are really, really good folks. And they are trustworthy. They will stand behind their warranty. There's a lot of shady people out there doing roofing, and they'll give you a song and dance and tell you the insurance will cover everything and get your money back. That's wrong. They're going to rip you off. So pitchroofing.com is the place to go. Back in 3. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out: $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you can trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source Diamond, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show as we roll on here on this Friday afternoon. I guess we could call this a football Friday. There's football being played.
Yeah.
Kind of. A little bit of football being played here in Tampa Bay with the Buccaneers welcoming in their draft class. We're brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. You can go watch some spring football over at Riveters this weekend. You can also watch the Rays in Boston. You can watch playoffs without the Lightning, unfortunately. It's the best sports bar in Tampa, the best food, the best staff by far, great drink specials, the best happy hour. We love it over there. Riveters, just north of 275, just south of the stadium, right there on Dale Mabre. All right.
I thought it was a Kloski Friday is what we called this thing.
We could do that. Well, if he wants to do it, he can come on every Friday. You know what? Let's ask the dude.
Evan
What's up,
Kloski
Evan
Friday.
Kloski? He's a busy man. He can't commit to that. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to hear me every Friday, but I appreciate the sentiment.
You know, back in the day, Kloski, let me tell you something. Back in the days of Chris Thomas and my team over there at Channel 8, you know when those guys came in? About an hour and a half before their show. Yeah. And the great Dave Cook, producer, and myself and Bob Hintz.
A thing of whiskey right next to the desk. You got the cigarette there underneath the desk.
Listen, that's the truth. That is the 100% truth. Chris Thomas used to walk in every day with a cup from the Handy store. Now, the Handy store was this little convenience store on Davis Islands where he was living. When I was working with him, and I lived there too. So I would see him in the store. And there was a little fountain to drink there, and he'd fill it up with his favorite beverage, and then fill it up with his favorite beverage, if you know what I'm talking about. But he was the best. He was the best that ever did it. He was fantastic, and that's just the way it was. Sports directors would come in. Yeah,
maybe the inspiration for the real Ron Burgundy.
That was Bob Haidt. It was Bob Haidt, one of my other co-anchors. But I'm telling you, it was a whole different world. And give the people a slice of what your day is like how early honestly, your day starts.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Like, for example, yesterday I was working on a story with Brooke Bennett, which we'll do next week. But I had to wake my butt up at like 8 a.m, run out to Clearwater Beach, and then on a typical day where I'm just anchoring. If there's a practice in the morning, especially during football season on those Wednesdays, I got to run out to one Buck by 10 or whatever it might be, gather what I can, and then typically do a 5 and a 6. I'm putting everything together with those shows. And, then now we've added a streaming show at 6:30, so I don't get done until 7. Sometimes, there are sometimes podcast requests, which I'll do in that like 7 to 8 window, run home, take the dog out, eat, come back, do the, watch the game on my phone when I'm walking my dog so I don't miss anything, and then go back to the studio and handle the 11 o'clock show. But yeah, there are some days where I start at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'm leaving the office at 12:30. some other people in the market, they don't go to all the practice stuff. And I'm just personally, I'm not a believer in that. Not that I go to every practice, but I do like to show my face where I can, because if I'm going to do this job the correct way, and if I'm certainly going to do commentaries, I got to show my face. I got to allow people to see me, that I'm asking questions, and also to talk with me. If there's anything, that they feel like that they want to broach with me. So I always want to have that relationship with the teams, that I'm not just some guy who shows up on set and just says a bunch of things and you never see me, and I could be doing this stuff in any other city. I definitely want to feel like I have those relationships built up, and have that sort of face and name recognition, so that when I'm talking with the athletes and the coaches that everybody's asking about, I can't say that I asked a question or did some of those things. So yeah, there are some really long days, and that's why you got to know when to throttle up and throttle down, so that you don't lose your mental capacity and burn out.
Yeah, it was too hard for me at the end to do all that stuff. It was just I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't have kids to worry about right now. I'm sure
and I did.
Opinion's going to change.
I had 2 young kids.
A little bit.
Yeah. You've just at times it's just like, wow, I don't even get to see my kids, and and you have to make hard choices and say this. It's not really for me right now. I need to find another way. But we all find their way. You're doing a fantastic job, man. I really appreciate it. And all those things you just said, I firmly believe that, and a lot of people don't do that. And maybe it's just because they're trying to keep their sanity, which I'm okay with that too. But I like the way you do it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Rick says Chris Thomas with his SIGs and racing form in the parking garage. Yep. Evan has to wait for his personal chef to make breakfast before he leaves the estate.
I wish.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Exactly.
Yeah, it's coming though. All right, partner. Let's hit the stadium first, because there's a lot of. As I said like 3 months ago, this is going to get really nasty and dirty. And boy, has it ever. People taking shots at you. I'm getting riddled with gunfire, 50 cal every day, but that's okay. I'll take the shot. What's your overall feeling right now on how close we are, and how you think this plays out?
I'm pretty much in lockstep with you. I think that this is going to get done. There are going to be pain points when you're moving at a speed so fast, which is what this deal has to get done in. It's going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that's fine from the county and the city. I think they're asking fair questions, right? I agree. They're being forced to make a decision with a lot of money very quickly. But the timestamp is not because of some. Let's throw out a random date here and put like a wall up against it and say, hey, we got to do it by here or else, right? I mean, there are natural constraints going on. You have the budget in Tallahassee. You have, an election coming up later in the year. Certainly Major League Baseball is knocking on your door, wanting to get expansion done. There's a possible lockout next year. You want to have wheels in motion. So there are reasons why the deadline is what it is. And as I've always maintained for a while now, it's all this is part of the process. There's going to be some ugly parts in it. There's going to be Orlando sprinkling out some interviews here, reminding people that they still exist. But in the end, when it's all said and done, I believe we're going to have an MOU agreed upon. I believe we're going to move to the next step. And then, then it comes down to really kind of like the final sprint, the last like 60 or 90 days, hammering out the exact details, figuring out exactly how this is going to get done. And then hopefully, shovels are in the ground and we can start to move forward in what this future will be for Tampa Bay.
Totally agree. 100%. I think a lot of people see this as pressure tactics, and I get that. I understand that. I really do. It can be perceived as such, but when you take into consideration all the things you just enumerated, these are outside forces. I mean, when you have a deal like this, there's a lot of moving parts. It's not just, two parties trying to come together. It's a lot. And when they've got everything, like Clendenin said the other night or day on our show, they're 99% there, but there's some sticking points that they got to get to. And that's part of it. How about the Rays on the field? How fun was that to watch them do their thing last night on ESPN?
It really was. Outside of the second inning, that was exactly, I'm really happy with the product they put out there on the field, because they rarely get national games. And in a national game, you saw everything from them. We did, despite the second inning, we saw great fielding. We saw the bunting. We saw the speed, Chandler Jr., like everything that we've grown to love about this 2026 team was put fully on display, and they're playing really, really good baseball. I mean, a shame that they gave up 4 runs and not 3 or fewer, but they just, they're, the last couple of years, I think they've been on the wrong side of some coin flips. And I think we're seeing some positive regression, and we're seeing some natural,
regression
some
to the
good
mean.
fortune finally
Yeah.
land their way.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody says, does this have staying power? That's the question. Everybody, it's just still a small sample size, but it's considerable to this point, right? What are we at? 30, almost 40 games in. It's considerable, but still from a baseball standpoint. And we saw the tank last year. Now, I think there were reasons for that. They were exhausted in the heat. Number one, that schedule in the middle of June and July, where they had 27 to 30 games on the road, and the 3 games were against the Dodgers at home. Good God! So I think that had a huge, and of course the injuries as well. The injuries could definitely take them down this year, no question about it. But I think being in the Trop and that being such a team that's built for the Trop, especially this year's team, maybe more than any other, I think those are the huge differences. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And what I told people before the season and reminded them is that I would be surprised if the Rays did not have a winning record at home, right? I still projected them to be like a 500 team.
Yeah,
And
so
at
did
best, we're kind of seeing them at what they're doing. But the fact is, last year, they didn't have that in their back pocket. The home ballpark was not working in their favor. They did not build that team around that ballpark. That was Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium is not a good ballpark for the Rays.
No.
And when they travel up to Yankee Stadium, I imagine they're probably going to lose 2 or 3. If they don't, that's going to be incredible, because just in Yankee Stadium, the Yankees typically are going to perform a lot better because it's built for their lefties and the short porch and all these things. So the fact is, this year, they have Tropicana Field. You already wasted one of the longest road trips of the season you're going to have. They have one more on the West Coast, but you already got a 9-gamer out of the way, which, it wasn't a great start to the season, but it was also a 9-game road trip, which in any point of the year is going to be, you really just aim to go 5-4. Like if you can go 5-4 in a 9-game roadie, you're really happy. 4-5, you can live with it. So, this team and last year and the schedule and how that all went about, it was a mess. And this year, there's finally some normalcy. They're back in their home ballpark where they can probably bank on wins most of the time. And now that they've got a bunch of wins in the bank already, they don't have to be super special the rest of the way. Like if they play 500 ball from here on out, they're going to be an 87, 88 win team that is going to get you in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they've already done the special stuff. Now you just got to be average. And then if you want to be above average, that's when we can talk about the AL East.
All right, let's transfer over to the Lightning, and lots to talk about here. I talked about their future yesterday, and my feeling on the playoffs is, just real quickly, that if they played games 1 through 5 like they played 6 and 7 with that type of intensity, they'd have won the whole series. I don't think that's a problem. So to me, this comes down to more motivation and leadership within the room, and getting guys to know that from puck drop 1, game 1, you've got to bring the best of the best and not wait till you're facing elimination. I think they have all the pieces to be a Stanley Cup winning team. I'd like to see them add a little bit more scoring and someone who's can win some face-offs and is playoff tested. But I still think, and I don't know if it's significant change or not. Adding a big piece, I think, would be what I would call significant change, and I think they can get there. Where do you think they are, and what should they be doing in this offseason, in your opinion?
Yeah, and I did a commentary on them after the season, and it kind of was around the same message
well done.
of, thank you. They really need to find their identity again, and not the identity that they were when they won the back-to-back cups, because they're a different team right now. I appreciate how much they wanted to turn some games into a WWE fight, right? After watching them get their face pushed into snow by the Florida Panthers last year, they had to prove that they had that in them to fight. But they're not fighters. This isn't a team of fighters. you're asking for Emil Lilleberg. You're bringing in you're drawing in Scott Sabrin to be that guy. Like, you're altering your lineup to try to bring in a physical presence, and that doesn't help you in the end goal of winning a series. Personally, I think one of John's tactical mistakes during the series, he had Sabrin and Carlisle in for 2 games. I don't think they played very well. I mean,
agree.
it also hurt that Stu got hurt in game 1.
That was a big
Against
hurt.
Toronto years ago, Chernak got hurt in game 1. Hagel got hurt last year. Like, they really are on
Holmberg getting hurt late.
Holmberg was terrible because it's a whole checking line. And the checking line was probably the most important line for this team, as ridiculous as that sounds when you got Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point, Brandon Hagel, all that stuff. But that checking line isn't built for offense. It's built to screw up the top line for the other team so that you let all the other players who are worried about offense do their work free and easy when they get out there. But I think they got to find their identity, which I think is speed, mind you. I think when they were winning on their 21-22, they were a fast team.
Yeah.
They were fast. And that's okay. I think you got to harken back to some of that pre-2020 team, like, the 2015 to 2019 team, maybe not focus on all the goals and none of the defense, but just that was a team that was fast and they got on you and they didn't have to rough and tumble you. It was okay. You won in different ways. So I want to see a little bit of a clearer identity of how they're going to attack, and instead of trying to be something that they don't need to be. And B, as you said, game 1, show up. All right. This isn't some dip your toes into the water thing. Right.
You've been here before.
If you play game 7 like you played game 1, you can sustain a bad loss here or there, because if you play like that for an entire series, you're going to win the series. No questions asked. You play like that in a do or die game, some wacky things can happen. And you got to. I want to see a motto next year being like, we do not lose at home. We do not lose here. This is personal.
House.
This year is personal. When we step onto this ice, no one gets away with a win. And you need to bring that mentality into the playoffs. That mentality needs to be breathing life into you all regular season long so that you know exactly when the playoffs start, this is our place. And you've built yourself that way. This team lost more regulation games at home this year than they have in like 15 years. They tied a record in the past 15 years. Okay. And that was coming off of playoff woes the past 3 years. Like, at some point, I think John's got to dial it up a little bit more seriously. Can't always be like, hey, bad puck, what Vassy said, bad puck luck this. Hey, at some point it's going to move in the other direction. Like, at some point you got to say, no, we have to force the puck luck. We have to force playing better at home. I apply a little bit of pressure here on the guys.
I would agree with that. And what's your take on Kucherov at this point?
Look, I am someone who's actually not like Kucherov in games 1 through 5. I thought games 1 through 4 had a big impact in the series. His goal in game 2 got them to overtime. His goal in game 4 off of Brandon Hagel, his assist off of Brandon Hagel in game 4 is a direct link to 2 of the wins in a series. Like, if you're directly a part of 2 playoff wins, I think that's a significant impact. I think what Julian said after the season was correct. That when you play Nikita Kucherov 1 or 2 times a month, he is ridiculously hard to stop. You're not going to get a feel for him. But when you play him 5, 6, 7 times, all of a sudden you got a feel for how the team wants to play, how Kucherov moves, and it makes life a little bit harder. I think that's just with any sort of team, any sort of game 7, very rarely do you see in those situations as you get later in a series, someone win like 6-1. Typically, everyone, knows what everyone's doing, and you need someone to step up in some sort of grimy moment to get a goal. So Kucherov is still the engine for this team. I understand his point total in game 7's disheartening. I understand that you want more from your superstar, and when superstars don't show up at the end of a series, they're going to get some blame. That's part of it too. But Montreal's superstars did not do really anything in that series. And if the Lightning went through and Montreal went home, everyone would be talking about Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Suzuki, how quiet they were. And already you're hearing that from Montreal, as Caulfield has done absolutely nothing after scoring 50-plus goals in a year. It's a small sample size. And I rather life with Kucherov than without Kucherov.
I would agree. And Vassy kind of calling out Kucherov, and he said our best player's got to be the best player.
Look, Vassy's got to. It's on him too.
Yeah, he said that, but I think he's right. Like, we gave up 16 goals in the series and lost in 7 games. That's not the fault of the defense or the goalie. I
agree with that. The defense certainly did its job. It's just more so of does John Cooper and the Bolts need to – is it simply just a depth problem? Was it simply just, hey, our check – we weren't deep enough offensively? Because, look, Oliver Bjorkstrand – if you had Oliver Bjorkstrand signed for $2 million, I would say he's a really good player. But he's a $5 million player. He's supposed to be a 20-goal scorer. He doesn't score goals. That's a problem. You had $9.5 million in Braden Point. He wasn't scoring goals. That's a problem. You had another $8 million in Victor Hedman. So you have $9.5, $5 million. That's a lot of money that's not being productive for you in the playoffs. So that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree. All right, before we get out of here, let's touch on the Bucs rookie minicamp guys coming in. I love the draft class. Some UDFAs have some good opportunity to make this team. What are we looking for this weekend, and what do you think the impact of this draft class will be?
I think it's going to be enormous. I do believe that Ruben Bain Jr. is going to be a tone setter for this defense. I think he's the type of snarl that A, this fan base has been yearning for, but B, that this defense has needed. Guys like Yaya Diaby on the opposite side of him has needed. As I said as I said before, I have a really tough time believing that Ruben Bain Jr. at his floor is not a very productive run-stuffing edge guy who's going to get you about 7 to 8 tackles for a loss. I want fans to know he's not going to be a guy. Certainly right away, but he's probably not a guy with double-digit sacks in his future, but he causes havoc, and he's going to help a lot of people also do a lot of great things as well. And Todd Bowles, having a piece like Ruben Bain Jr., it opens up a lot of possibilities for him, and I think that's going to help Ruben Bain Jr. out as well to work with someone like Todd Bowles. So I think he could be a transformative piece. I do think the success of this defense is going to rely on how good Josiah Trotter is right away. He's going to have to step in. Love the athletic traits, but he might be a little bit of a development product. So I don't know what that means in year one. I'm really watching him because between Bain, between Trotter, those guys are going to need to play right away. Ted Hurst, I really like, but you can ease him in. Keontae Scott, I really like. But you can probably think of a package for him, or he could be playing the Christian Izzian role. So, we can get down the list of players who might be more rotational, but those two need to be an impact day one.
Yeah, and I could see that happen. I can see 4 starters out of this group, those top 4 picks. I don't know if Hurst is going to be on the field right away as the X.
Yeah.
But I think by the end of the season, he may be playing a very significant role.
He might be the reverse Emeka Egbuka story this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
You might not hear about him for half the season. Then all of a sudden we start figuring him out. The coaches figure him out. He starts understanding things more. There's going to be a bit more of a learning curve for Ted than there was.
It's a huge step up from the competition he's been
Correct.
playing. He's going to have to get used to that. And that's a big deal. Hey, before you go, we have 3 or 4 people that want to know about your friend Joshua Wostall.
Oh my God!
You sports director should know this. What?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. You know this because I texted you. I deal in the world of respect. I really stay out of politics. I love having discussions and debates. I do it all the time on Twitter, especially with sports and the Rays and disagreements and opinion. We can all disagree in opinion. That's fine. Everybody gets their vote, and all those votes are valuable. Nobody should say that should be taken away from you. Your opinions matter. But when you resort to kind of like name calling and being disrespectful, when the funny part is in my original post, I said with respect. There's a really tough way to kind of say things with tone on Twitter. But for you to kind of go out of your way and to call people a clown, diminish their work,
for an elected public official to do that is
correct. You are a public servant, mind you, And these are members of your community, and to block them, to demean them is just, it's inherently the exact opposite of what your role entails. And if you can't handle
100%.
that, this is not the job for you. It's not. If you can't be above it and you got to resort to the name calling, you are not meant to be a public official, and your status as a public official is going to go away, because you're just going to be voted out. You can only do that for so long before word passes around that you're not being genuine or you're not being a good person. And while he's willing to, I don't question his intentions in the meetings. He's asking questions. He's doing what he thinks his constituents want. It's up to his constituents when they vote to say, this isn't what I want, and I want him out, right? They can choose that at the elections. That's why we got a democratic process. I don't care about any of that. The fact is, nobody calls me a clown. Nobody calls it like that. That is in the world that I live in and how I grew up. I don't treat disrespect well. We all deserve a basic level of respect, period. And so, like, you got the wrong one if you think you're gonna name call me and act like you're gonna win, you're gonna get one up on me, because that just ain't gonna happen. And anybody who's been following me, who knows me, like, that's not how I roll. That's not how I speak to people, and that's not how we do this. So if he wants to engage with me and in my world and on my timeline, that is totally fine, and we can have discussions and really good ones. But if you're gonna call me names, nah, that's those are the people that I personally mute or block, because then I can't have a legitimate conversation with you, and it's going nowhere.
Totally agree, man. We're on the same page there.
May God have mercy on your soul!
I mean, that's clownish. When you do that, when you tell people, your constituents that disagree with you, that may God have mercy on your soul, you're a grandstanding.
Yeah. I can't deal with the performative stuff, man. It just doesn't work. Like, I take a lot of pride in the fact that the guy you see on air is the guy you're seeing right now, is the guy you're going to see at the supermarket, right? Like, I take a lot of pride in just living being as genuine as possible, being as respectful as possible. And yeah, I have strong opinions. That's different than not treating somebody with respect. Disagreement's okay. Just stop speaking of identity. Don't be something you're not. I don't think he wants to live in a world where he's doing the performative thing. It's just, this isn't theater. All right. These are people's lives. These are really important decisions. Stick with the talking points. That's going to get you a lot further than whatever you're doing here.
Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Appreciate your time as always. What do you want to promote? Anything coming up on Tampa Bay 10?
No, well, I mean, David Shealy right now is at Bucs rookie mini camp, so we'll have complete coverage of that. You can check out the 10 Tampa Bay News app if you can't watch us live at 6 or 11 o'clock. And then, next week I'm going to be doing a story on Brooke Bennett, her doing the Ironman. We love her here.
That's
one of our favorite Olympians. And the fact that she's going to be doing an Ironman, just turned 46, getting those competitive juices flowing. I'm really excited to tell her story and wish her all the best heading to Jacksonville next weekend. And then otherwise, you can always engage with me on Twitter at Kloski WTSP. Quote unquote.
You better not call him a clown.
Yeah,
you better not call him a clown.
Let's just keep it respectful. But I really do love engaging with everybody. Especially around this time with Rays fans asking questions. There are plenty to have during a 162 game season, and I just hope to try to provide some perspective.
All right, great stuff. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
watch him every night.
You as
Tampa Bay
always.
10. Thanks, man.
Have a good one, guys.
All right, we're gonna hit a break, and I love that guy. We're our kindred spirits. I love the way he does his business over there, and it's hard work, folks. Nobody wants to hear us complain. I get it, but I just wanted to point out how hard this guy works, and it's literally from sun up to way past sundown. And
nobody wants to be called a clown either.
No, really don't, especially by an elected public official. Danny Boy says Wostall represents my district in Westchase. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to end well for him, but brought upon himself. All right, quick break. When we come back, Big O's going to join us as well. It's Big O show day, so he'll be bringing in his take on the Rays. Can't wait for that. And we'll get into some Buccaneers and other stuff. Anything you guys want to ask, we'll get your comments next in this segment as well. Golden Diamond Source. We love Julie and Steve Weintraub. Was chatting with them yesterday via text, and it is their 20th anniversary for them personally. So we wish them a happy 20th anniversary, but they're doing something great for Mother's Day, which is doubling your money. You now until I think today is the last day. Is this the 8th? Yes, this is the 8th. Today's the last day for you to get that gift card match. So get your $500 down there, turn it into $1,000. You get 2 gift cards, one for your mom, one for the mother of your children. Pretty easy thing. They wrap it up really, really sweet and nice, and you are done shopping. And they love to shop. So why do the shopping for them? Get it wrong, then they got to take it back. Gift card, baby. Really easy way to do it. So head on over to the Golden Diamond Source and double your money with their gift card match up to $500. Spend $500, get $1,000, 2 gift cards. It's the way to go for Mother's Day. 3800 Almerton Road, about 15, more like 15, 20 minutes from downtown Tampa. Right there on Almerton Road as you get over the bridge. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite. I love it. So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Football Friday. They're playing football in Tampa Bay today. In fact, in moments, this new draft class will be walking out to the lush grass fields at the Advent Health Center Training Center over there at One Buccaneer Place to do stretching. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic.
Is that really football?
Yeah, not really, but a little bit. It's close. It's close. Hey, we'd like to thank the great folks at Genesis of Tampa who did me a great service when I went over there to get a new car or a gently used car, pre-owned as we like to say. GV70 2023, got the extended warranty on it. Great deal. Got out of my little BMW scootabout that was killing me, and they gave me way over the Blue Book value for that. So we got the deal done. Everybody was happy. And it's a great place. And their service is second to none. Great folks over there. Mike Murphy, the Murphy Auto Group runs it, and he's become a good friend. This is part of the Rays limited partnership. Great folks. So if you want to do business with people that are doing great things in our community. That is Genesis of Tampa. 801 East Bears Avenue, just off of 275 up there in North Tampa. All right, my friend. Yes, football is upon us, and rookie minicamp, just basically time for these guys to get oriented to the surroundings, who their new bosses are going to be, where they're going to be showering, where they're going to be lockered, where all this stuff goes. But there's a little bit, especially for the UDFAs, the undrafted free agents. This is a huge few days for them to impress the coaches. And obviously they've seen a lot of tape. Now they get to see you eye to eye, how you work. I always love trying to get over there. It's going to be tough today with the O show, but I love, just watching the guys with my own eyes, and the great ones just move differently. I say this all the time. They just move differently, and you could see it right off the bat. And so I want to see that burst from Bain as he's going through the bag drills. I want to see Keontae Scott and what he looks like just in terms of his footwork and how he moves as well. Ted Hurst, the wide receiver they got in the third round from Georgia State, is, we're told, an absolute physical freak. So looking forward to that. Jeremiah Trotta is a big linebacker. Just seeing two linebackers at 240 pounds is going to be really nice in the middle of that Buccaneers defense. So there's a lot to see. Jalen Daniels, the quarterback from Kansas, who is, I think he didn't get drafted because he's got great athletic ability, but he's not a prototypical NFL thrower of the football. His motion is a little weird. And we'll see what the Bucs do with that, and how, if he eventually becomes a player in this league. It's tough, obviously, but he's got a lot of great athletic ability, and it'll be interesting to see how he plays and how he looks as well. Do you get out to the rookie mini camps at all, Timmy?
No.
For Dallas? No. They're right in your backyard.
Yeah, I mean, I can. I've got people, though, that just send me video and stuff. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Got people there for that purpose. I don't have to go unless I want to.
DeMonte Capehart, the kid from Clemson, another one, a defensive tackle, 6'4", 313. He had 13 and a half tackles for loss, and they took him in the fifth round. Only 3 sacks, but that was probably, he was in a rotational system, but he's a big kid and very athletic. And when you come from programs like Ohio State and Clemson, teams that typically recruit a lot of really, really good down linemen, you can get some guys that kind of fell through the cracks or just didn't get as much playing time as they would have other places. I think Capehart probably could have played a hell of a lot more, certainly at Florida State, than he did maybe at Clemson. So it'll be interesting to see how productive he can be, a guy of that size and speed. If you're a good coaching staff, you should be able to find a role for that player. He's not going to displace any starters, but he should be able to play a role, and especially in the heat here in Tampa, you need all the rotational defensive linemen you can get. So I think there's a pretty good chance he'll get snaps this year, and how good he can be. That's what these things are all about.
And by the way, for those that don't know, there have been some really good undrafted free agent players make it big in the NFL. I mean, this is a place where you can certainly find diamonds in the rough. Need I go no further than Shaq Barrett was undrafted?
Yeah.
Of course, helped the Bucs win a Super Bowl. Jacoby Myers, Austin Eckler, Adam Thielen. You go back a little bit, you got guys like Priest Holmes, Drew Pearson, James Harrison, John Randall, Warren Moon, Antonio Gates. You can find guys. Of course, Cowboys fans will always cherish Tony Romo and Drew Pearson as our two most favorite undrafted free agents. But Kurt Warner, obviously, we know Hall of Famer. We know what he did. So, this is a play, and this is why teams, for those of you that don't cover the NFL draft on a regular basis or at all, when I'm because I covered this year for the draft, I covered the Seahawks and I covered the Cowboys, their complete drafts. For college teams, I covered the Aggies, the Longhorns, the SMU Mustangs, TCU Horned Frogs, and Texas Tech Red Raiders. The Aggies and the Red Raiders had a buttload of draft picks, obviously this year. But the real race for these teams start after that Mr. Irrelevant pick, because that is when they are hitting the phones and they are ready to talk to these guys. And it is a race for these teams because they've got their list of guys that might have been on their board that didn't get drafted, and those are the first phone calls they make. And these guys are undrafted. They can pick whoever, they can sign with whoever they want. So it's huge for these teams to get to these guys and to make the calls. So when you've got a flock of undrafted free agents come in, don't think that these are just throwaway players that the team is bringing in because they need to fill spots for camp and for whatever, for OTAs. These are normally guys that the front office has said, we really like these guys. They didn't get drafted, and they were competing with other teams in most cases to sign these guys. So these are guys that weren't necessarily unwanted. They just weren't as high on the boards for teams as other guys, but they've got a lot to offer in most cases for the teams.
Yeah, and it's about the coaching staff identifying them and then developing them into roles, maybe very specific roles that can help this team. So that's where it's where good scouting, good coaching comes in. I think the Bucs have been good at that. DeMar Dotson was a long time basketball player at Southern Miss, I believe, and he came in as an undrafted free agent, and he started for maybe 8-9 years at right tackle. Was one of the best right tackles in the league. Chukuma was kind of a similar thing, and he came out of Georgia State just like Ted Hurst, if I'm not mistaken. And he started games. I mean, Ben Chukuma played 2 years of college football. He ended up starting a couple games at the end of the year, or at some point during the year. And when I saw him in camp, I was like, wow, this kid's got great feet for as big as he is. 6'6", 320. He looked lean and really athletic, but he just hadn't had a whole lot of experience. And I think at some point he's going to be a starter in this league somewhere. He's too good of an athlete. And once he learns the game, sky's the limit for him. And Sean Tucker was an undrafted free agent out of Syracuse who dropped out of the draft because of a heart ailment. And once they got that right, we've seen what he's able to do. JJ Roberts, who got hurt last year, but showed enough in the mini camps and training camps as a safety that they really, really liked him. And I think he's got a great shot to make this team. So yeah, these will be some guys. They got some 6'10" guy from Germany, I think, who's coming over as that international exemption that they don't have. And so I'll be interested. He's an offensive line. Be interested to see what he looks like. He played at UCF, I believe. So they've got some very interesting players, but more than anything for me, it's the draft picks and seeing how they move, see what they do. It's your first, I've been to a bunch of these, and you see greatness early. There's no question about it. You get fooled too. You get fooled. I saw Benjamin Morrison last year, and I really liked the way he moved. Like really, really like when he was healthy.
He might still be a thing.
I'm not writing him off. I mean, he's very, very early. He said, he had injuries last year. It's just that he had injuries in college, and now his first year was injury prone. And, one thing we've learned in this league is when you're an injury prone guy, you're an injury prone guy. You don't suddenly get totally healthy. It just seems to be something that continues to dog you. And the Bucs have taken players who have missed seasons because of injury and would have been top players in other years, like gone 2 or 3 rounds earlier. They like taking chances on those guys. Yeah. And I can't say that's worked out well for them. Can't say it has. So I'm more up on Jacob Parrish than I am on Benjamin Morrison. I like it. I think he's a great young man, but if you can't stay on the field, can't stay on the field. He could be a really, really good player. There's no question about that. It's just a matter of whether he can sustain, have the stamina and the durability to play in this league, because it's freaking hard, as all of you know. And I'm just
for every one of those guys that a team hits on, they miss on like 10.
Yeah.
So the odds are not very good, but when you do get a hit, you get some tremendous value out of that guy.
Agreed. All right, let's get to some of the. If you guys have any Bucs questions, pop them up. We will get to them. What else we got here? There's Alejandro in this morning. Says Jax as a starter didn't do too bad yesterday, going 4 innings, 3 runs with under 60 pitches, which isn't a bad start. He could have gone 5 innings to get the win, but again, not a bad start. Yeah, he was a victim of some bad defense, no question about that. Alejandro adds, I want to say, JP, that you're doing a fantastic job with these story and updates, and keep up the great work, brother. Let me know if you and the Big O want to go to a Rays game at some point this season. Yeah, we'll do that. I think Alex Nunn is going to supply some tickets for us because he's up in Cleveland for the summer. So, yeah, with the gang that we put together yesterday, maybe we can put together. I'll see how many tickets we can get from Alex. But we've got to get some kids involved too. So I want to work maybe with Gigi's Playhouse as the Down syndrome center over there, that they do a great job over there with those kids, getting them out into the community, getting them jobs and everything. And you've met them through the years through the show, and Nick and Lindsay and all those guys. Great people over there. I'd love to bring them to a game as well.
I got some kids you can borrow if you're just looking for kids.
Danny Boy said the TBBJ, Tampa Bay Business Journal, this morning had a piece written by Emma Berman saying that the Bucs will start to talk to the Tampa Hillsborough and the TSA in reference to RJS renovations. Yeah, I think whatever they're going to bring to the table is too late to affect what's going on with the Rays. And as Hagan has said many times, we've set aside money for the Buccaneers, what we think they're going to need. And I think that's going to be sufficient. If it's not, then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And maybe the Glazers will have to come up with more money. Because remember, this project, the Rays project, is about 81 baseball games and another 50 other probably dates a year there. The Bucs still play only 9 home games, including 1 preseason, sometimes 2 preseason. And then if they hit a home playoff game, which is rare. Yeah. So that's, you're talking about spending money for public good. And also, this whole Rays deal includes a brand new campus for Hillsborough College, a new tennis center, obviously the whole entertainment district around it that the public is going to be able to use and be part of, and the county is going to make money off of it. And unless the Bucs are doing something like that, this is a totally different concept. What they're doing, what they're asking for is money to renovate the stadium that's already built. That now that they're going to have to redo the lease and see how much money. It's not going to be as a sweetheart deal as it was the last time for the Glazers. So it's what's the public benefit out of that? It's just simply the public benefit is we get a ton of other events that come there, but it's in terms of the Bucs, it's mostly for them and their fans. The Rays thing is kind of a different thing. Well, it's a totally different thing in terms of public money being applied. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. They absolutely do, because having the NFL here is huge. It's huge, but the Rays things bring so much more in terms of economic impact especially over a 30-year period. So again, I'm not saying the Bucs don't deserve it. I'm just saying it's a totally different deal. It's a totally different argument. And we got to keep our Buccaneers here. Absolutely. Now, if they say, hey, we need a brand new stadium and it's going to be $2.5 billion and we need more than you gave the Rays, that's going to be a hard swallow.
Then there's some issues. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have some issues, but that's not what we need. That stadium is perfectly good. It's got maybe 20, 30 years more life in it, especially if they can put a roof on it. That's where they should go. I mean, there's a lot of stadiums that do go a lot longer than 30 years. It's supposed to be the life of a stadium, but, there's there's things we can do. You put a canopy on it like Raymond James Stadium. I think that's a huge, huge deal. You can expand it inside. You could do some significant things for $1 billion, which is what's kind of been floated. $500 million from the city and county, $500 million from the Glazers, and if they want to do more, they can put money in, do whatever they need to do. But I think that's more than fair, just as a framework. Danny Boy says, Alejandro, from what I was told by Bill Carlson a few days ago via email, Wednesday night was the first of 3 public meetings on the city side. Not sure on the county side. Yes, there will be more public forums, which I highly encourage you guys to go to because it's fun. We had a really good time doing that. At least I did.
Did they serve drinks? Was there like a bar there?
No, that's the bad part. It's a really small room.
I saw. Yeah,
it was a really small room. I think they should have moved it to the convention center, which was their original idea. And yeah, you know, in order to get up and go to the bathroom during this 4-hour vigil, you had to like go up, walk around the side, and almost walk in front of the person who was speaking right up next to the dais. Not a good setup for a larger crowd. TBH. Alejandro. We don't need that. You guys are talking back and forth. Alex Nunn says, JP, with the Rays being on fire, your video is getting red hot. How about the Rays ownership in Boston high-fiving players throughout the game? That was cool. Babby and cool. Patrick were sitting right next to the dugout. So I think this is a good time to bring up the fact, what has this ownership group done for the play on the field? In my opinion, it's been a significant difference. First, the most obvious thing, a payroll over $100 million for the first time, adding Nick Martinez, even though some of us wanted to spend that money on a big hitting outfielder, which I think we could still use.
Sure.
But they okayed that $13 million when not a whole lot of people were bidding for Nick Martinez. So that's number one. And number two, I think just inside the organization, there is a complete recharge of what's going on, as opposed to the past, which you could probably rhyme a word. And there was a feeling within the organization, especially from the players, that a lot of rolling at the eyes at stuff that went on from an ownership standpoint. They, the lack of commitment to payroll and a lot of other things that other teams got that the Rays didn't get, their players. So I think this new group has come in and energized the players. You saw Topkin did a great piece last week talking to Eric Meander, how excited he is to work with this group and continue to grow the payroll to a point where, we're on par with the league average, which would basically double what our usual payroll was. So imagine what Neander can do with that when he can go make trades and add significant payroll. It's a huge game changer in terms of this team on the field. I mean, look what we're doing without it. It's, I think it's really interesting. Jimmy J. Voyager said, we already did that one. Thank you, Jimmy J. Alex Nunn has a super chat as well, which we just read. I think he did the same thing earlier, but turned it into a super chat. Yeah, I think significant what this new ownership group is doing, and a big reason why they're winning. Would you agree, Timmy?
Oh, absolutely. Don't think for a minute as a fan that the support from your, or lack thereof, from your ownership group doesn't affect the play on the field. It big absolutely time. 100% does. Because number one, ownership, good ownership or lack thereof, affects the fans. Fans are more enthusiastic about the team when they like the ownership group, when they support the ownership group. They go to games to support that group, and in turn, they're more supportive of the team. And the team knows that. When you've got the situation that the Rays were coming out of, when nobody wanted to go to the games, nobody could go to the games half the time, and ownership just doesn't give a flip, well, then the fans don't give a flip. And then you know what? The team doesn't give a flip. And because it trickles down. So, yeah, when you've got a situation like this, man, it 100% matters. And you can see the results of that right now on the field.
Yeah, the atmosphere in the Dome, honestly, I've not been there yet, but I can just see it through the TV and hear from a lot of people from the very beginning of how much brighter it is in there. The new field is so much better. And these guys have expended more money than, it wasn't just what the city paid for. They put in more money as well to get it right. Now, I was arguing with some nut job on Twitter yesterday And he's like, "Oh, this same old ownership crap. They still have the third lowest payroll at baseball. These guys are no different than the others. They got to do better. You're shilling for them, and it's the same old stuff. What's different?" I'm like, "Okay, well, let's see. They bought the team for $1.7 billion. They're putting $8 to $10 billion of their own money into the mixed-use project. They're putting $1.3 billion of their own money, eventually pay up to 58% of the stadium for themselves. They had to redo their entire television network, so they're not getting the maximum revenue back on that. And also had to redo the Trop. To do that, they have a pending work stoppage thing coming up. They have to plan for that as well. They have to run the team, by the way, and spend money on payroll this year. Like, what if and it's like, and I'm like, bro, that's not enough in 7 months. You want more from your owners, for God's sakes, bro. And they're trying to get this stadium built. It's like, holy shit, what do you want? That's not enough for you?
Again, people that just need something to complain about.
And
they know nothing about the facts.
Yeah. John Hill says, according to MLB Network's, teams in the last 45 years to allow 17 or fewer runs over a span of 13 games were the 2010 Giants, won the World Series, 2022 Astros, won the World Series, and the 26 Rays. What if we get the stadium finally over the line? When we get the stadium finally over the line and we win a World Series? Everybody will go, see, we don't need the new stadium. No, that's
too late by then.
Right. No, we absolutely need it. Even more, because now we're going to be more people on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
What else we got? Alejandro says the Cowboys are going to trade Dak Prescott and second pick for Aaron Rodgers, who's going to help the Cowboys win.
Alejandro, I love you, but stop trolling. Nobody wants Aaron Rodgers on their team, not even Steelers fans right now. Come on.
Oh, they're not really happy about that.
The biggest waste of space I've ever seen in my life is Aaron Rodgers.
We have a first. We have a first here in the comments today. Drew Jetson says, "Nice shirt, JP. True religion." Yeah.
I was just about to ask you if you. I was about to ask you if you it was laundry day and you had to borrow that from Ashley.
Well, it's not like I wear the same shirt every day. Like,
I was going to say, JP, I really like your blouse.
It is laundry day, by the way. You're absolutely right. But yeah, I'm not a slave to fashion. We all know that. I am no Ryan Bass, and I say that with all due respect. He's a well-dressed man. Yeah, he spends more on suits in a year than I spent in my entire life. Oh, but he looked good.
Looks good.
Yeah. ABS and the pitch clock has really helped the game, Alejandro says. They are marketing better with specialty games like Field of Dreams, All-Star Games, WBC, and even spring training. Baseball is good. Yeah, that's why viewership is up, I think, for sure. By the way, I meant to mention this about the new ownership group. Have you seen the way they are marketing this team? I know you don't live here, Timmy. You don't see this, but my inbox and my text messages are filled with great promotions every day. I tell you 2 or 3 great promotions that they're doing over there at the park. They're already selling. I mean, they are very, very aggressive, and I like that. And that's something that's never been done here. Stu always said, "I'm not going to market the team because then if people show up, I'll lose my revenue sharing. So, and I have to staff the stadium more. Let's just close the upper deck, get last staff there. Don't market the team. Who cares how many people show up? I'm going to get my $60 million in revenue sharing and keep the payroll low, and I'll be banking $100 million a year." And yeah. And we've always said we are a big market team. Why don't you market it? Well, and I'll say this. He kind of knew that his location was going to, it was always going to limit the size of the crowd, which is why he should have built the stadium on the Tampa side back in 2018 when he could have and had to step up with some of his own money. But he would have got so much more back in return. And he'd have a much more successful franchise, and he might still be in baseball. Yeah. Alex Nunn says Evan Kloski, love that guy. Yes, we do too. Drew Jetson also said Junior said on national TV he's the greatest in the world, and then he backed it up. Build a stadium now. Yeah, he did. He did that interview with Eddie Perez, and they showed it like one word. Describe yourself. Best in the world. Yeah.
Gotta love that.
He ran it all together to make it one word. So, yeah. And then he goes out and hits a 450-foot home run of 115 off the bat. Yep.
Incredible.
That's good. What's this? Long days for Evan as long as he doesn't end up in a hot tub with a coach. Oh! I ain't never seen you. What have we done? Rick also says, to Orlando and a baseball team, they can't even keep a bunch of sloths alive. Stupid dreamers. Yeah, that was bad.
Did they lose a sloth at the zoo?
Like 60 of them, I think.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I like sloths.
They tried to put them in the fast lane.
I've dated some of them.
What? Alex Nunn says, when we went to Bunt and scored in the second to hear the announcer say, this is Rays baseball. How special is that we are known for our own way? Yeah. We had a lot of fans last night. No question about it. Let's see. Jason Marlowe is new in here. He says, the fact that we both don't like Wostall, it brings light to the darkest depths of my soul. He is.
God have mercy on your soul.
I don't get enough of that. Chris Gold says Orlando can't even fill an arena for a Magic playoff game. I think actually they did. I think they sold out. They've had a good year.
They collapsed that series though, didn't they? Golly,
what a choke, man. Rick says Tampa Bay Bucs. He will be the face of the defense unless Todd screws him up. Yeah, I do have a worry of that.
It's a real threat. That is a threat.
That is a threat. Jason Martinez says, even Evan talked about muting and blocking. It is safe to do the same with a certain on-air local personality regarding their opinion on Hedman. Ridiculous. Yeah, I saw some of that. And I like Bubba. You know, he's been good to me. We have a really good friendship. And I don't know. I know this. He knows a lot of people and he has a lot of good information. I've heard other stuff about Hedman from a lot of credible sources, not the stuff that he's reporting. So, and I'm not going to talk about it, but I don't know what that's all about. Yeah. To me, it's the best part about it is Victor's getting help and he's going to be back soon. John Thiel says, I have a little advice for Mr. Wostall. If you want to be a hypocrite and a complete scumbag, I suggest that if you're not walking with the Lord, that you keep his name out of your effing mouth. May God have mercy on your soul. Wow, that's a lot of vitriol towards Mr. Wostall. But here's the thing. I never attack anybody until they attack me first. For the most part. I try to keep that. And if I do, I try to keep it respectful. Jumbo asks, are you doing any shows at Riveters this season? We are not yet scheduled to do any, but we will keep you posted. Remotes are a tough deal these days. Not that they're tough to do. It's just that, a lot of people don't really come out for them, no matter how big the station is. But I like being out there with the people and meeting you folks. I really do. Even if it's, 5 or 10 that come out, I really enjoy doing that. So we'll see if we can make that happen. I'd like to do that. I'd like to do more of them. Chris Cole says Light makes his money from those UDFAs. Yeah, he's been really good. Really, really good. Pete Nova said, nice work, JP. Just came across your content due to the video of you. Yeah, this video is blowing up, folks, and that's great. It's going to bring more people to the show, and we like that. We like that. This is independent journalism. For all the new people that are watching this, we're an independent company. We're not corporate media. We thrive on that. I think it lends us to be more independent in our thinking and be able to say things that a lot of other people can't. I know this because I've worked in corporate media a lot, and there's a lot of things that they tell you can and cannot say, and there are guardrails and specific things that you just can't do. It's one of the reasons I started this company, because to give me the freedom to do the things that I want to do and not be fired or let go. So we are solely in business because of these people you see at the bottom there are great advertisers, and you guys who are putting our numbers through the freaking roof. Now you can't super chat us. That's always good. You can send us money. But we're an advertiser driven thing. And you don't see any of the teams advertising for those people that are claiming I'm being paid by the Rays. There you go. So thank you very much. We appreciate all the new faces we're getting, and please support it. And you can support it by going to these advertisers. If you don't even need their services, drop them a note on their social media or send them an email and say thank you for supporting the JP Peterson Show. We really, really appreciate it because we're doing good works and we're doing things for the community. And honestly, this whole thing with the stadium brings me so much pride because I think we have played it. I know for a fact we have played a very integral part in getting baseball done right here. And we're close to the finish line. And when we do get to that point, I'm going to be very proud of this audience and the audience that we gained and the people that we work with and Timmy and everybody that works hard on the show, that we've done something meaningful, very, very meaningful. That's going to bring a lot of good to this area. And I think, frankly, without us, it would have been a much tougher sell, a much, much tougher sell, especially if it wasn't for us in that community meeting the other night. It would have been a much different tone to that meeting for those county commissioners. And we're going to try and show up at every one of them. So I really, really appreciate you guys. And thank you for saying that, Pete. That means a lot. All right, we'll take a break and thank all of these great sponsors that we have right here. Please, as I said, just drop them a note. If you're not going to use their business or not now, just drop them a note on their socials or whatever. We'd really, 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 really appreciate that. And we are brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing. They also do AC. They work with American Standard Heating and Cooling. That is your dynamic duo to make sure that your HVAC unit is working great and is up to the summer heat, because you want your unit ready to go for the summer. Otherwise, it could be catastrophic for you and your family. So get the maintenance special. $169 for the year gets you 2 visits where they come and make sure your drain line is unclogged and everything is working in proper order, so you don't have to make the emergency call. Right? That's pretty good. $169. That's great, actually. And you get to know the people at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. They're great folks. So call them, email them, tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back with more do you want. The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000. And all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you could trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source Diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. We got to go get dinner at Paradiso soon. You know what? I think we might do that. I'm definitely going to do that this weekend.
Well, listen, it's Mother's Day.
Ashley's coming over. We got a big weekend planned. Saturday night's open.
Saturday night might be the pre-Mother's Day, extravaganza.
Oh, it's not. It's already Mother's Day, in case you didn't know.
Oh, it starts. It's the weekend.
Yeah.
Mother's Day's become a weekend thing now.
Oh yeah. Where have you been?
You're right. Well, I'm sorry.
I know what I'm dealing with. I don't know about what you're dealing with, but I know what I'm dealing with. Oh yeah. No, it's just because we got to celebrate moms. We do. And a great way to do that is go to Cafe Paradiso, have a great Italian meal.
Yes.
And celebrate your mom and get in Friday or Saturday. Head on over there and they'll give you a nice red rose and all that cool stuff for the moms, of course.
Yes, they do.
Well, the only thing, especially at Cafe Paradiso with Apollo and his brother and all his guys that run.
Tutto bene.
Yeah, then they start hitting on your mom.
Typical Italian.
The typical Italian.
Great.
So you know what? You may not like it. You may not like it, but your mom will.
She's gonna like the meal and the hit on.
You may not like it if they do it to your wife, but she'll like it. Get a little extra attention. So I don't know what I'm selling here at Cafe Paradiso, but
an experience.
I just know those Italian guys. I don't know.
The food is great.
Hey, JP, real quick before you move on too much from Bucs, I made a present for you here during the break.
Oh, okay.
That would have to show you here on the screen, and for all of you Todd Bowles fans.
I'm going to change the Bucs defense culture and mindset. Oh yeah, hold my beer. Don't post that, please. There's plenty of people. Send it to Joel Forsland or Bucks Basement and let them post it.
I'm not going to post it. I was just selling to you on the show. I'm not going to do anything with it.
Too late.
It's a fear. Can we bring up the other camera so we can see? I know it's not the greatest shot, but at least we can see Big O when he's talking. Can we do it? There we go.
Hey, it's all good.
We got 14 cameras in the studio, and we got to look at the backs of y'all's heads.
Well, yeah, it's not great. I'm fixing it this weekend. I promise you.
I'm sure.
We got to fly him in, man. We got to fly him in.
He can't fly. He won't fly.
Oh,
he's scared of flying.
We'll see. Is he on Madden?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
Big O. I used to have my private pilot's license. I used to fly. I love airplanes. I will not get on a commercial aircraft these days. I'm not doing it.
No way, dude. So you
I know too much about the system.
Outside of your area beyond 10 hours.
No, I'll drive however far I need to. I drove straight through to Toronto one time.
Jeez Louise.
From Dallas. I don't care, but I'll drive. I enjoy the drive. I would rather drive.
All right, you got a solo shot of O now. You can use that too. See there, it's much better. His new camera. You like that?
Amigos.
See?
Yeah, amigas.
Yeah. So I just you sent me your Mother's Day poem.
Yeah.
That you did for Fox Sports.
Every year I did several. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I would write an actual poem and create.
And they did
tied to Mother's Day. And
I sent it to you, Timmy, if we can play that.
I can't. It won't let me play it.
It won't? Okay.
No. Which is probably good. It's probably copyrighted anyway if it's on their website.
It might be. Yeah. I have a different one that's a Twitter. It's an
does that matter?
Does it matter?
You know what I can do? I can play the audio.
You don't have Twitter? How did you put a video on Twitter?
I didn't put a video on Twitter. They did. The Rays baseball. Or Fox at the time was Fox.
Let me see if I can do this. Well, all right. Well, yeah, okay. Thank you. They put the ads on this thing. Wait till the ads pass, and we'll
let me
do the audio.
The other one, and maybe he can play the other one. But in the meantime, Rays are hot. Rays can't stop winning.
All right, I'm going to do it this way. Here we go. Because I think it was really, really well done.
About our mothers, tie it into this great game of baseball. And this year is a little poem that I came up with. So here goes. Mothers, baseball, and you. Roses are red and violets are blue. A little poem about mothers, baseball, and you. A mother's love so strong, so true, with such kindness. Where in baseball, a grand slam scores 4, well, a mother's love, it scores priceless. In baseball, you strike out, and you're upset like Casey at the bat. Our mother's always right there to say, hey, listen, forget about that. There are openers, our bulk of life, our relievers. There are coaches, our managers, our trainers, and our number one believers. In baseball, you look to defend, double up, and get put out. Our mother's defense, well, puts up. Is Gold Glove, errorless and never in doubt. Whether she's still here with us or passed on and just in our hearts, our mother's our best teammate. That bond will never, ever part. The game of baseball is played, well, inning by inning. But the mother's love, that is the real definition of winning. Roses are red and violets are blue. A little poem about mothers, baseball, for you. Te quiero ya mucho. Richie?
That's awesome. I got a little teared up.
Well,
I got a little teared up.
For myself with mom having passed away.
It's your first Mother's Day without him, right?
Yeah. So it's been
that's a tough one, brother.
Yeah, but they do so much. Whether they were a baseball mom for you or a soccer mom, or
baseball players, especially. You guys, your moms are such an integral part. Now, dads are too, but it's usually the moms that have to do all the driving and the cleaning and
the waiting and the picking you up.
That stinky ass bag you brought home, and she's got to wade through it and put it through the wash.
Yeah. And they're at every game. You know, most mothers are. Dads sometimes have to work. They get there late.
Right.
Some moms are there. And also not just in baseball, but all sports and in all aspects of life. I mean, our mothers are generally speaking are so integral in our lives. So
To all the moms out there, thank you all. Ashley, to you, a great mom. Who has to do most everything herself, and has been for a long time.
Sure. You
single moms out there, especially.
Yeah, a lot of those.
Mucho respect.
Extremely.
Mucho respect.
Respect.
And again, mucho. The game of baseball is such a family it is a family sport. Mainly because when you think about it, you have softball, so it's everybody kind of can throw a ball around. not everybody plays football and not everybody plays basketball and both, both sexes all the time. But baseball, softball, even just throwing it around.
Team moms
are the best. The best.
Yeah. So happy Mother's Day to all you moms, especially those that go out of their way to help us play the games that we love.
Right.
And because we couldn't do without you, moms.
Could
so
not.
Thanks.
Heck.
Thanks, Mom. Any great mom stories you guys want to put in the comments, please do. Those are always cool to listen to.
We'll talk a little bit more about
it. Dude,
how
fun was it?
Yeah.
To watch the Rays do their thing last night on national television. A little hiccup defensively, but
a little hiccup, yeah. I mean, and surprisingly by one major one by arguably the best shortstop in the world in Walls. But that goes to show you how much they're winning right now, and they are on a roll. I mean, you cannot get off it. When you think about that, even it was an ugly game for them, if you will. Still a win, so, and you're at Fenway, you're making these mistakes. This is a team that, oh, by the way, had not won at Fenway in their last 6 games they played at Fenway.
That's right.
So so they were kind of jinxed at Fenway for a while, and just a whole different methodology and mentality and the way the game is played. The things that stood out for me, obviously, again, the mixture of small ball with giant ball. And when I say giant ball, that home run that Junior hit, hit, as a guy that hit big home runs, as far as, I could hit it really far. For me, watching that, and then when they replayed it, and then later on, I replayed it again on my phone, and I'm like, you people, I'm telling you, Petermans and all of it, you have no idea, if you've never stepped foot in Fenway, how deep it is to center field. For as short that it is to the,
and it's a 30-foot wall.
And it's a 30-foot wall. And it was on the line.
19-degree angle.
450 foot on the line that is the most electric home run that has been hit this year.
By
period.
Far. Yeah.
There's been great
115 off the bat.
Just an electric home run.
I texted Babby, was sitting right there, right close. I said, "What did that sound like?"
Yeah.
It came across the TV.
I can't say enough about it.
That's the sound that made.
Yeah.
Holy shizbang.
I can't say enough about it. The most exciting home runs, again, having been a home run hitter and loving the long ball, are really not the lofty 450s. It's whenever you lean in on one and you hit a 4+ line drive. That's when you've squared a ball. Oh, by the way, to add to that, when you hit it dead center.
So, and you've been talking about this for weeks now, middle.
Well, reason being is that then you are actually meeting, anytime you hit the ball hard to the middle of the plate, to the middle of the field, you've squared up the ball perfectly
on the barrel.
Because technically pulling it, it's not really squaring
it up. Out front, right?
You're out front. So here's left field. You're going to be out front of it. Here's right field. You're literally going to be behind it. And you could hit 400-foot blasts both ways. But when you square up a ball like that and it goes straight out, it's something monumental. It gives me I literally get goosebumps when I see that. And there's just few guys in the world right now. Even when I'll be honest with you, even Shohei Ohtani doesn't hit home runs like that.
Yeah.
He hits lofty home runs. His power is just how much power he has from pole to pole. But Junior generates so much bat speed, and his swing is so beautiful. The path of his swing is the flattest, arguably, in all of baseball, that when he connects beautifully like that, it's something to behold, man. Yeah. So where in baseball in the last several years, you tell me, can you see one team that can hit a 450-foot home run like that, but also mix in 2 bunts in the game?
Great point.
You're not seeing that.
Haven't
been seeing that.
Great point.
2 quality bunts in the game. Williamson dropped one. Oh, my guy. By the way, the last couple of games, he's had RBIs. Mullins.
Yeah.
Mullins.
Did he have an RBI last night?
Did.
I know he failed the one time
he did fail. I think he went 1 for 4. But he had the little pull.
The bunt RBI. Yeah, that's right.
My head for that. So
you should do that every time.
Oh my God, Timmy, help me out here, bro. Jeez Louise, get off the Mullins bus, man. I love it.
Like, no, this is how I get guys going. Don't you understand this? When I start
Since
dogging
you
him,
really rated him on Tuesday. He's had 2 good games.
yeah, exactly. What did I do to Nick Martinez?
I think JP's taking credit for Nick Martinez right now.
Of course I am.
He's
Of
taking
course,
credit
I know
for
how this works, dude. I have a long list
long
of players that they suck, and I start dogging them. They turn it around.
I think Derek Brooks
I'm doing a
owes
service
you,
again for the community.
The Ring of Honor, I think he owes you that. You must have crushed.
It's like they should come at the club and go, "Hey, JP's dogging me. I'm ready for a hot streak.
Yes, I'm ready. Put him in, coach."
How come the Lightning players didn't listen to you then?
I wasn't dogging.
He wasn't dogging him enough. See, there you go.
I started dogging him after the series.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I got to go in earlier. I guess.
No, but they're doing so when you mix in the combination of small, big ball. They had the mishaps, but there was one by Yandy that he could have had. Wasn't an easy play.
Yeah,
and it kind of went off his glove. But really, the thing that's really working is the combination and the unselfishness of the players that they have. And then you go to the bullpen, and it's kind of similar, the combination. By the way, that game might have, and he deservedly got the W. Biggie, bro, he came in.
It's great.
And just shut him down for 2 innings.
Yeah.
19 strikes and 25 pitches. Just went boom.
He's a biggie guy. He's a biggie guy.
Yeah, and then you throw in side armor. Then you throw in the lefty.
KK Clevenger came in.
You got KK.
When they dropped that ball or let that ball fall in center field.
Yeah, that was crush.
He was not happy.
Yeah.
That was your boy Mullins again.
Yeah, that one.
He's got to take charge of that.
He's got to take charge.
He was looking for somebody else to come in and get it, and he could have got it easily.
A surprising mistake there on that. Yeah, but again, it was a bit ugly, but they just find ways of winning right now, and they're just number one, dominating the American League. All the American League, just dominating them, and it's just on the flip side, you've got the team that's in first place. That's why I compared it to 2019. Is it going to be 2019 where the Yankees win 100 and something games and the Rays are right on their heels? 1-2 that year was 103 Yankees, 96 Rays. Both had phenomenal years. The Yankees just keep on winning. And oh, by the way, an interesting one. I don't know if you saw, but Jason Dominguez crashed into the.
I did see that. That was
so
cart him off.
They're replacing Jason Dominguez, known as the Martian, with now they're replacing him with a Palladian tall white alien known as Spencer Jones.
I think I've heard of this
Palladian.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Dude.
He's a big dude too.
6'7".
So they're going to go 6'7" in the outfield?
Yes.
No, actually in spring training, I saw him hit a home run at Steinbrenner. We were there one day.
He's another one that when he connects, he's like Junior in the sense of like there's a different sound to the ball when this guy's 6'7" and swings and misses a shitload. But it's going to be interesting because those two teams, man, the next time they meet, when is the next? Timmy, can you look when the next time the Yanks and
I think it's next month. And
I'll look.
Because if they continue at this pace, that's going to be the biggest series of the first half of the season.
All right, before at my peril here, but we've had a lot of people request that they wanted to see the speech that I did the other night because it's blowing up on the internet.
May 22nd, May 23rd, May 24th.
Oh, dude, so it's around the corner.
Yeah, we got to go to that
at New York.
Oh, is that New York? Okay.
We got to go to that series.
Let's go to New York.
Let's go to New York,
Let's go to New York, for sure.
Oh, bro, you haven't played?
I haven't played it here. It's played everywhere else, but I'll play it here.
Play it, please.
Timmy, you got it? You got it ready?
Yeah.
Play that thing.
All right.
Thank you, Chris. My name is JP Peterson. I'm a local sportscaster and have been for 30 years. And I can tell you, Charlie, that Mr. Miranda, that people love baseball here. The Rays baseball is the number one consistently rated program every single night on TV. People are watching. You're right, they don't go to the games. You know why? Because we've done it all wrong. Now you have the opportunity to finally do it right. We've had a terrible stadium in a terrible location. Love St. Pete, but it's not a place for baseball. And we've had very unpopular owners. Now we have a group of elite businessmen who are not here to steal our money. They're here to build something iconic that we're all going to love and make memories for. Baseball makes memories. Charlie, you know that. You've taken your kids. I've taken mine to World Series. I'll never forget taking my kids to a World Series here. And I've heard a lot of talk about money. And it seems like you don't have money to do the things you need. It seems like you need a really good investment opportunity. Here it is. Put in $1 billion, get 3 back at least. And not to mention $55 billion in economic impact. And I saw it happen in Atlanta. I was living in Atlanta at that particular time. And everybody, like all the opponents, said the same thing. Cobb County doesn't have the money. We don't have the money. We can't afford it. Guess what? They went net positive in 10 years. All those people were wrong. And now they're putting $4 million into their general fund. They're putting $8 million into their school every year, and the state gets another $17 million. They were wrong, and you're wrong now if you don't think this is a great investment. And there are 10 cities right now waiting for you folks to say, nah, we don't want it. We got to take care of our potholes. They know the business. They know what Atlanta has. They saw what they did. All these places have to pay $2.5 billion in an expansion fee, then another $2 billion for the stadium. We're gifted that. We have the Rays here, and the people love them. And you are the stewards that are going to send this team to Orlando? That's going to be your vote? I don't think that's a very good idea at all. Another thing, baseball. We have not been able to hold on to our great players here because of the revenues and unpopular owners that don't know how to spend. These guys are going to take this money that they make and put it back into our team, keep our star players here, and God forbid, maybe even win a World Series. It would be fun to see. In closing, I also want to say this, the CIT tax. We built Raymond James Stadium for $168 million. 3 Super Bowls, national championship, another one on the way, college football, monster trucks, Taylor Swift concerts. None of it would happen. The Bucs would be in Orlando if we didn't spend that $168 million. It's the best money you've ever spent, and the Sitz money should spend it again. And in closing, I just want to say the people that have come through here playing baseball, I know them personally. Wade Boggs, McGriff, Gonzalez, Pete Alonso, Kyle Tucker. We print baseball players here. It's part of our fabric. It's part of our culture. Let's finally do it right and make baseball great in Tampa Bay. We cannot lose our Rays. Don't let that happen.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. James Van Herent, followed by Chris Inslee.
Because they didn't let us clap in the thing.
And, we did anyway when Babby was done.
Yeah, when Babby was done.
We almost got thrown out. I love when you went up to Charlie Miranda and did your thing with him.
Well, Charlie, like I said, Charlie's my boy.
Yeah,
and we're gonna hopefully have him on the show and hear point counterpoint.
Yeah, all the guys that came up. You got Palermo before me was hilarious and on point. Devin. Jimmy, Alejandro. I'm going to miss somebody that got up there and talked. But
here's the deal.
They did a
Yours
great job.
Was the most concise kind of narration of the pros versus the cons as to why you should do this for real, taking past history and looking at future success. And then all the stuff in between that you added. So you did an eloquent job of really creating.
I was a little nervous.
I'll
be honest with you.
Yeah, because you know,
talking in front of live people like that's way different than what we.
Well,
do
it's
here.
not just that; it's just the passion that you have for this thing. This is
it's more passion than nervousness. To be honest,
that's
with you.
what I felt.
I get worked up.
Yeah, this is a passionate
I get worked
thing,
up,
and there's a lot. I think there's so many more people that are passionate about this than are truly known out there.
Yeah, Danny Boy says Palermo called Miranda out before you spoke. Right before I spoke, Palermo was up there just ripping Charlie.
Yeah, he did that. That's when he dropped the pothole.
He did drop the pothole
because Charlie Miranda.
You're always going to have those problems, you know, because they haven't. It's true. At least if we spend our money on this, then we know where the money went.
Well,
we know where the money went.
Yeah,
and we can look at it, see it, go inside of it, do all kinds of. We'll know.
Great example of Oakland. And
you did.
And that they lost their team, they still have potholes.
That's right. And if so many people, and there are legitimate things that we need to spend our money on, which is all the more reason we got to build it because, and Mr. Clendenin said it so well on this show the other day, is like, yeah, we don't have the money to do that. That's why we got to do this to get the money.
That's the fact.
Yeah,
that's the fact that people are scared, a little bit timid to take on, right? Because all right, let's just save our money.
It makes sense. There's stuff they need to spend money on, but your needs outweigh your current revenues. Correct. You got to find ways to get more revenue.
Yeah,
and there's no honestly, what better way are you gonna? You're not gonna find a bigger vehicle to do so.
Yeah,
it's thinking big, it's swinging big, but winning big.
Yes,
and I always like to be on that side than the other side.
Yeah,
So.
there was a great article by goodness, I had it here and I can't. Steve Kona.
Yeah, Steve Kona. Yeah. He wrote a great piece as well. That was up on Twitter. I retweeted that.
Yeah.
All right. So what's coming up on the Big O show at 12:30?
We're going to talk again about how these Rays are incredible at winning anyway, including an ugly win yesterday with some miscues, but still winning. We're going to talk about Yandy Diaz reaching an incredible milestone.
Yeah, I didn't talk about that at all.
Any hitter that first of all, you have to play length in order to get the 1,000 hits. You just don't do that, by playing 4 or 5 years.
Right.
You got to put some, at
longevity.
Least, so longevity, 8-10 years to get to 1,000 hits. I don't know if people realize how great that of a milestone that is. And he's only the 20th Cuban-born player, so I'm very proud of him for that. Talk a little bit about how unselfish our offense is. How they do so many different great things, and athletic, aggressive, smart. And then the bullpen, we'll talk a little bit about that. And then, of course, the most exciting, electrifying home run that we have seen this year. Can you smell what the O is going to be cooking?
Wow. How about that?
Wow. Glad he was on his solo shot when he did that, because that looked really good. All right, here's the back.
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounded enthrrling.
something to do with wrestling, bro. Something to do with wrestling.
I
think I've seen that before.
Yeah, I'm known as the pebble to his rock.
Yeah. All right, great stuff, guy. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate your work all week long. We got a great Big O show coming up here in just a little bit, so join us for that around 12:30. Have a great weekend, everybody. Support your Rays on television. Still keep sending those emails to your council folk, and we'll keep up the pressure as long as we can. Have a great weekend.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
And that is to Timmy Hamon.
Yep.
Happy Mother's Day to the mother of all co-hosts and producers. But you mother.
She'd be very proud and embarrassed by what I'm doing right now.
Same.